non certo per dare una mano al professor Ramadan, che non ne ha assolutamente bisogno, però quello che interessa molto gli studiosi di Islam in Italia e in Europa è certamente il ricorso che il professor Ramadan fa al concetto di ijtihad, cioè di interpretazione del testo coranico, perché questo è quello che poneva Kureishi, è un problema reale. Però in effetti la ijtihad, cioè la interpretazione, l'uscire dalla letteralità del testo, è uno dei problemi fondamentali, e sicuramente in Europa avere questa possibilità, che va peraltro in contrasto, professore, con molti dei sapienti, degli ulema, degli alim che ci sono nel mondo islamico, è un'apertura non da poco. Quindi il Corano è un testo fondamentale, ma dice Ramadan va interpretato, e nella interpretazione del testo c'è tutta la ricchezza e la possibilità di operare il confronto fra culture. Questo io volevo dirvelo perché è importante come nozione, sapendo che il professor Ramadan questo lo ha dichiarato in modo chiaro. Ma non certo per stemperare le polemiche, perché non è mio interesse, anzi un po' per attizzarle, vorrei chiedere al professore, si mette la cuffia perché le devo leggere una cosa, almeno lei la sente bene. Vorrei chiederle di commentare questa affermazione, poi le dirò chi l'ha fatta. L'Islam è l'ideologia del XXI secolo, come marxismo e fascismo lo sono state per il XX, e la sua versione soft sarebbe quasi più pericolosa di quella radicale. Nessuno solidarizza con i kamikaze, mentre la versione moderata si infiltra progressivamente nella società che la ospita, cambiandone il volto. Poi le dirò chi ha detto questa frase, vorrei che lei me la commentasse. Mi scusi, non sento.
Look, this is exactly what we have now. We have a trend in many European countries and in the States, even in the West, but not only in the West, by the way, but mainly in the West, of people telling you, look, in fact, you have the radicals, and they have a very specific perception of Islam, but in fact the problem is not them. Yes, we are condemning them, and you will have Muslims condemning them, but in fact Islam is the problem per se. Because in Islam, there is something which is a connection to violence, a connection to expulsion. So be aware of these Muslims coming to you with an open-minded appearance, because behind them they are the true Muslims. And what they are doing is to nurture fears that in fact don't trust them. Islam is a danger and a threat. So it means that I'm coming here, I'm condemning the violence and saying, okay, be careful, he has a double tone. He says something, but behind this he's paving the road to this colonizing Islam. These people are not acting out of ignorance, and they have a specific agenda. I think that the people who are now supporting the Bush administration, some of the political parties in this country, they have this agenda to build a new threat. Islam is the new danger, be careful, be aware. They come, they colonize, this is the fifth column. Let me tell you something. Never forget that, because Europe went through this already. Listen to what's said to the Jews, about the Jews during the 30s. When they speak, they have a double tone. They say something, they mean something else. They have an international network, which is International Jewish Lobby, and they are the fifth column. They are infiltrating. And this is what was said during the 30s. This is plain racism, this is xenophobia, and this was anti-Semitism. What we have now is a coming back of a very so my position on this is to say to every single citizen, I ask you to trust me. Because it's a question of time, it's a question of living together. But what I'm asking you is go out, get out of your intellectual ghetto and at the local level in Roma, around, go out and speak to these Muslims and let you know if you can trust them. Go and speak to them, and you will see that these people have nothing to do with della, nothing to do with radicals, and they are peaceful people. Go and you will trust the people for yourself. The only thing that I can tell you, don't trust me here. Go out, go with your people and ask them if they are. And you will see that they are not the people who are described in some of the newspapers here. And never forget, you have political forces in this country, they are very happy with polarization, very happy with a kind of racism, very happy to say, be careful, there is a new threat. They have an agenda, they have the double talk. We don't. I don't have a double talk. I can tell them. You know, you told me about the Muslim countries. I can't go in Saudi Arabia. I can't go in Egypt. I can't go in Tunisia. I can't go in Syria. Why? Because I'm critical here. I'm saying that these are plain dictatorships. So one word, clearly put, clearly said, and asking the citizens, come and let us speak. And you will see if you can trust. If you can trust, then trust. If you can't, then don't trust. But don't be alienated by political discourse and some journalists happy to build this polarization of today.
Well, I come from...
Sorry, I have to say in Italian. La frase che avevo letto prima era di Kureishi. I said the sentence I read before it was yours.
I think what I would like to say, I come from a Muslim family, and I would say that most of the members of my family want exactly the same things as anybody else in the West wants. They want a standard of living, they want jobs, they want good health, they want freedom, they want democracy. So, as Mr. Ramadan suggests, if we go among the Muslim community and talk to Muslim people, we will find that they are exactly the same as us in many ways. But I think the most important distinction that we have to make here is the difference between individual Muslims who are nice or bad or whatever like anybody else, and the ideology of Islam. And it's the ideology of Islam which is contained in only one book, and only one book which, as he says, is open to interpretation, but in the end it is only one book. I think this book is extremely dangerous, and I think this book and the ideology that comes out of it contains all kinds of ideas which are very dangerous to the freedoms that we all in the West have fought for a long time. Those freedoms are very fragile. Those freedoms are very fragile and they can easily be taken away. And I think, I do think that the Bush-Blair administration is criminal. I think its fears are misplaced. But I would argue that Islam and the Quran and atom ideology is extremely dangerous. And we have to be very careful of this because the freedoms, as I say, that we have fought for throughout the 20th century are extremely fragile, and we must not allow them to be taken away by anybody at all.